Anyway, good backdrop. Here we are again. I forget what number episode we're at, but we're deep. We're deep. So we have another unboxing, and I'm going to again piece this together because I think in the next 2 days I have another box coming. And like you, I get excited and I want to do this right away. I don't want to wait till tomorrow to open this box. So we'll piece it together. But this box is all the way from Japan. Now, the eBay seller was in Japan and he had very bad reviews. So I took a chance on this. I said, you know what, screw it. PayPal takes good care of me. If something goes wrong, PayPal will take care of it. So I took a shot, and you know what? It arrived in 4 days from Japan. That's pretty good. So anyway, let's unbox this. I can't believe how quick this showed up from Japan. I really can't. Like I said, the seller had bad reviews, and I was like, I don't think this is going to work out. I won't be surprised if it doesn't show up. But you know what? All his bad reviews and everything, great. Got here in 4 days, like I said, from Japan. All right, yeah, this box is heavy. So wait till you'll see what's in here. I mean, just stuff we need. Much nicer over here at this table. Hopefully everybody can see this. No matter how sharp the blade is, I always struggle with it. Okay. Okay, not packed the best, but he got it here quick. Look at this. It's Japanese newspaper. That's Japanese newspaper. I gotta sit and go through this later. That's different. I don't know. Can anybody here read Japanese? I can't. What are they talking about over in Japan? Yeah, I can't read it. But that's Japanese newspaper. Pretty interesting. Okay. Newspaper out. You know what? These aren't packed too bad. All right, off the table you go. Can we finally get one to work out and be in excellent shape like it was advertised? Let's see. I've had terrible luck lately. Terrible luck, but let's see. Maybe that'll change. Oh, let's get this off the table so you can see better. Yeah, this showed up today. I was just astonished. There you go again, walking around upstairs. What do you got to do? You got to live. What are you going to do? Oh my God. All right. Well, check that out. Another HC104 TB stilt. Actually finding them a lot easier and quicker than I thought. Oh my God, look, we've got all the original wing nuts. Finally. Finally, right? You know, this is packed pretty good, so I take that back what I said in the beginning. The newspapers are kind of deceiving. I'm going to do this very carefully. We don't want to scratch the chrome. And this looks to be in really good shape. But again, I paid for it. I think, well, I have another thing here that you got to see. I think in the end it was like $360 to get it shipped. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It ran me $340, and that included shipping from Japan. Compared to what I've paid for the other HC104 TVs, that's a pretty good price. So I jumped on it. Like I said, a little apprehensive about the shipping from Japan, but it worked out. Here it is, man. You can't judge a book by its cover. Ugh. I got a razor that can't handle a rubber band. All right, folks. You're probably not going to be able to see this if I stand it up. But it's in really good shape. really, really, really good shape. Look at that. Man, that's almost like new old stock. Well, we'll loosen this a little. There we go. A little rusty down there, but that's normal. Still, sticker's a little bit faded. We could get new stickers in the future if it's a big deal. That locks in place. Now you saw my last video with the clamp. Let's see how this does. Ah, this is good. This is in great shape. Finally, finally I got one in good shape. Everything is all there. This is as close as you're getting to new old stock. Very, very, very nice example of an HC104 TP. So there you go. That makes 3, and we need 3 more. We're 50% done. Great. These are what I feared the most, and I thought were going to be the hardest. Tighten that up a little. Boom. There you go. We got another thing in the box. You're going to see what we're going to do with this one. Again, you got to be creative. So we're not waiting years and years and years to finish this project. You got to be creative and build things. All right. So as you know, I've got 3 complete stands, and I have a stilt base hanging around that we can use for a 6904 if we find it. That opens up some avenues for us. But if you check this out, this is that the lighter model, like I had last time. I forget the model off the top of my head. But there's that second arm we needed. I showed you the last arm in the last video. We are going to throw that away now or sell it or something, because this is the correct arm for the Splash or the China, whichever one you want to use. Oh, that's a little loose, but we'll fix that. If it hangs down low, there's no problem. Okay, I think that's missing a roll pin. Let's check that out. I've never seen anything like this. It's definitely a thread on. No, I don't think so. You and I are seeing this together for the first time. No, that's just a thread on. Oh, actually, no, wait a minute. Yeah, there's a little hole in there. So that's missing a roll pin. So I'll get a roll pin from the hardware store if I don't have one laying around, or I'll take it out of that other one. That's why it's good to have spares. And that's our second arm that's going to go on the right side with the China or the Splash. So now we have both of those arms that we needed done. And I have a second stilt base. Good shape, really nice shape. Like I said, sticker's a little faded, no big deal. Nothing's stripped, it's got all the wing nuts, none of the levers are cracked. As you know, we can't really use this one, but we can save it for parts. No levers are cracked. Now, this finally worked out in our favor. Finally. So, really, really, really nice stands here. Really, what is the word I'm looking for? This is a really nice description, or can't think of the word. A really nice example of the stilts when they came out. Nice and clean, nothing stripped. Really nice example. Like I said, those are a little faded, but we got all the wing nuts, nothing stripped, everything's working, really good condition. So I guess that ends the video. 3 complete HC104 TVs, that's great. We have 2 stilt bases, so that, like I said, opens up our avenue for some 6904s or more for the HC104 TBs, whatever we could find. But we got options now. So anyway, I'm going to cut this off with the magic of editing. You're going to see tomorrow's box, and we'll go from there. So see you in a minute. As a few days have passed, and that box I was speaking about finally got here. Before we get going with the unboxing, I wanted to show you something I forgot to mention. I got this a couple weeks ago. Yeah, look at that. I'll move the stand box so you can see it, right? So So this is the period correct for the Poor Touring Me kit. This is the period correct snare stand, the HS90. And this one, and like I wanted, this one is in absolutely beat up shape, man. That's perfect because we're going to make a repair video. Can you see me? We're going to make a repair video on this. I don't know if you can see how bad this is from that distance. But anyway, these feet are damaged. Looks like there was like a dog chewing on it or a cat scratching at it. I think this is, no, actually that's not stripped. There's a hose clamp here. We got some polishing to do. We're going to rejuvenate the seal. I think I paid like 25 bucks for this. And this is exactly what I wanted because I wanted to do a repair video. But the main problem with these is this Titan seal here disintegrates, and this one is in absolutely piss poor shape. It's all disintegrated. I'm going to show you everything how to repair this and get this back to normal and functional, fully functional. But yeah, so I picked that up a couple weeks ago. I forgot to mention it. So I just wanted to show you that before we go unboxing this. So that's cool, perfect, very cheap. And it was local too. It was after work, and I don't think anybody wanted to go on a, or see a long video, a long montage about me getting a snare stand. But that was weird. The guy who sold it, we actually argued like most of the day, and I was trying to tell him, I'm not arguing with you, I'm just telling you, brother. I said, you're missing a wing nut on the bottom, this wing nut here. I said, you're missing this wing nut. I said, I don't care if you have it. I said, because I have a bunch of them, but just tell me it's not stripped. And he's like, it's not a wing nut, it's a one-touch lever. I'm like, I know that part's a lever, but you're missing a wing nut here. And we went back and forth for half the damn day before he finally saw it. And he's like, I got a wing nut, it's not stripped. I'm like, great, great, great. So we agree to meet up, and I'm going down there, and this guy is just, you know, once you say, I told him, I said, I'll touch base with you before I leave work, because it was right next to my job. And I said, and then, you know, just confirm that you're going to meet, because I hate going to these places and nobody, you know, confirms with you, and you end up driving all the way out there for nothing. This was rather close to work, so I just headed out there, and he just would not confirm. He would not get back to me. I said, all right, I'm going to drive to the house, and if I don't hear anything, I'll turn around. You know, it happens. It happens with these, when you run around for these parts. But last minute, he confirmed. And I ended up getting it, 25 bucks. It's beat up, that's what I wanted. We're gonna do a side quest repair video, side quest. How do you like that? How do you like that label, the side quest videos? And we'll repair that. So anyway, we're gonna unbox this, and then I wanna talk about something I discovered. But let's unbox this. So this one came from the beautiful, beautiful state of Wyoming. I love Wyoming, man, do I love Wyoming. But, this is another one of these creative parts that we're going to have to alter. And I'll tell you why in a minute. So this one, and you can add that to the budget, set us back, or wherever I'm going to put the number, $1.65. Not too bad. I've had these before. I paid about the same. This is packed very well. Let's see if this one could be in beautiful shape like it was described. I know we hit a home run with those two stands. Man, from Japan, they were in great shape. Let's hope that this one lives up to it. It was described as very good, and it looked great in the pictures. I mean, you guys know how that goes. But let's see if we can get on a roll here. I've had some really bad transactions lately. Some got settled, others didn't. So I've been on a real bad roll. Those two fucking, excuse my language, I don't know if YouTube likes cursing. Those damn HC104 TBs from Japan, excellent shape. So I was very happy about that. All right, this is packed really well. So if the seller sees, I think he's Boom Boom Drums. Shipped it out really quick. It was out the next morning. So thank you for that. Packed really well.
I think it's fucking stock. Which part of that is unclear to you? I think it sounds stock to my ears. I mean, you want me to write it down?
Actually, you know, we're almost done. Well, I shouldn't say that. We almost have all the hardware, but I'm sure we're going to be unboxing stuff down the line. I mean, shit just happens. You find things and things change. So we'll probably be doing unboxings for a while. But what I'm getting at is I think we're wrapping up. I mean, I don't know how long it's going to take to get the rest of the stands, but we're kind of wrapping up on the hardware for the Poor Touring Me kit. Kind of crazy. I mean, we moved really fast on this one. A lot faster than I thought it would. A lot faster than these three, that's for sure. Hey, but hey, that's the market. That's how it goes. I know you're like, shut the fuck up and unwrap this thing already. Yeah, I'm getting there. All right, so you can see what this is. Oh, this is in really good shape. Now, hang tight on that thought. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. Let's get this spread open here. All right. I hope you can see this. But this is in beautiful shape. This is a hi-hat stand. And almost period correct. I know what you're thinking. You need a legless. I know it needs a legless. But, and tell me any differently, I have never, ever, actually one time I've seen one. I've never really, besides the one time, seen an Iron Cobra from the 90s legless hi-hat stand. I thought to myself, that's going to be impossible to find. The one time I did find it, I tried to buy from the guy, and you know, you guys who deal with this vintage Tommy, you might know him as Martin Grandfonger. I bought a stand from him, and it's the only time somebody's ever told me that PayPal didn't send them the money. Like I paid through PayPal through eBay. And he's like, well, it didn't deposit into my account. And I'm trying to tell him, maybe you have to ship it for it to deposit. I don't know how that works. But he's like, I'm not shipping it to you. And it took a while. He like, I don't know what he did. He spent the money, or he's like, I don't have the money in the account. And I was just begging him. And I finally got him to refund me. And it was an HC104 TV many years ago for this kid. And I was like, this is a scam. It wasn't a scam. He's a real person. But I just never took a chance with it again. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is I've seen one from Martin. Martin had one. It's the only one I've ever seen in my life. So I figured that instead of wait and sit here and wait for years and years and years for this legless hi-hat stand to show up that might not even show up, we better do something. So I figured, you saw the previous video I did, I forget what the model number is. We said it in the other video. But this, along with this hi-hat stand, minus the legs, make the, I think it's the NL95 hi-hat stand we need. So, like I've told you many times, we are going to have to make a legless hi-hat stand. And Tama's stuff is all streamlined. So it's not like they have a different rod for that hi-hat stand and a different pedal. It's all the same thing. The legless hi-hat stand doesn't have the legs. So what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to take these legs off, and I will do another side quest video. I'll show you how we're going to go about that, and we have no choice but to make ourselves a legless hi-hat stand. It's the only thing I could think of. I don't really want to, and I'm sure you guys don't want to wait forever with these videos, waiting for this one part that may never show up. So that's what I decided to do. That's what we're going to do about that. Let me just screw this in there. This is a really, really beautiful shape. So thank you, Boom Boom Drums, I think it was, or I forget the name off the top of my head. But really, really nice shape. Loosen this a little bit. Tighten this a little bit. A little more. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to put this aside. So this, without the legs, and this make the NL95 legless hi-hat stand for the wherever I may roam, the Portoring Meat Kit. So we will do a side quest video about that, and we'll get that all situated. And in the meantime, it's been a few days. I edited these videos together. I was thinking to myself, I keep a very large scrap pile, you might say, a scrap pile of Tama hardware. And I was like, I haven't checked that in a while. Let me go see what's in there, because I'm like, I think I have this, I think I have that, maybe we could do something. So check out what I found. You guys know that I have a couple of these bases. I've been showing you how I've been, scrapping some things, making some parts, saving some parts. So I have the stilt base. I'm going to put this off to the side. We have a stilt base. I looked in my junk pile. I had the extension arm that goes in this base. Then I look some more, and I have this. I should have took these nuts off prior, sorry. We're gonna fast forward this.
And what are you trying to do?
I'm not trying to do fucking shit.
I know.
You're really helping matters. You're really good at that.
All right, let me put this behind me. You see this, the still base there. We've got this. I'll tighten that. I looked a little deeper, and I had that. I got one more thing. You see that? We got to do some work to get that to fit. That is a complete HC104TB that I didn't even know I had. And I thought these were going to be the hardest things to find. Let me not jump the gun because we need 2 more. But we're going to do another side quest video. And we are going to build this. I mean, there's not much building. I'm going to do some maintenance on it. But I got to get this in this tube. And I think the way Tama did it in Japan is they kind of pressed it in. I got a few ideas. We'll figure it out. You don't want to hammer on this. You'll break this tube. But look at that. That's a full. Once I get this in there, and we got to drill a hole and put a roll pin in, I've got a full HC104TB that I just have to do a little work and construct. Amazing. So that is 4 complete. We need 2 more. And I think now that we've used that spare base, I think I have 1 spare base left. And we're open to a 6904. If we find another HC104TB, we can get that. We need 2 more. Man, 2 more. That's the hardest part, in my opinion. But I think I don't have any other boxes coming. I still have to get a snare. I don't have a snare yet. You know, we've been discussing that for months, the snare. And that's it. That's where we are, man. Wow. Think about that. That's how far we are along. And we got to wrap these. We got to build that pad, get some hits. This is really coming together fast. Look up in the corner. That's what I've spent so far. That's what we've blown through so far out of our budget. And we wanted I wanted to have both shell kits on the ground for less than you can buy the new Lars Ulrich M72 signature kit. Now that we're finishing this up, once I get this complete, we're going to start buying the shells for that, and we're going to have to address the situation of room, guys. Oh boy, I don't know what I'm going to do there. I don't know if we're going to shove it in the corner here, or we're going to have to take the one kit off the pad and put the yellow kit on the pad. It's a nightmare when it comes to space. But that's where we are. Thank you for thank you for tuning in. That's what I was going to say. How do you feel about these unboxings? Are you enjoying them? Do you want me to continue with the unboxings? Do I talk too much and you don't want to see them? Let me know in the comments. Because like I said, this is all this whole journey is for you guys to come along. I didn't do it with these 3, and I regret it. But you tell me what you want to do. If you're tired of hearing me ramble and unbox shit, that's fine. You let me know. But I think the next video we're going to make is we are going to build this. Oh, yeah, I do know that. I know what you're thinking, too. This had a wing nut up here and not a one-touch lever. I'm going to see if I could find another collar and pop that on. I showed you the last video how to repair these. I'll see if I could find the wing nut collar and make that to get it 100% correct. But if I can't, I mean, that's not a killer. To me, anyway. For finding a complete HC104TB just laying in my junk pile. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. That's the end of this episode. I really appreciate you watching. Everybody who subscribes, comments, you keep me motivated. You know, I've been saying that for a long time. This project is moving the whole time, and it's for you, and I really appreciate you tuning in, watching, keeping me motivated and all that shit. It keeps the channel going, supporting the channel. And I am still dedicated. We are still moving along. My eyes are still open. I'm checking everything. We got quite a lot more stuff to do. Even though we've come a long way, we got quite a bit to do. So that is it. Thanks for tuning in. All right. Everyone's favorite part, the money section. Let's talk a little bit about the money, what we spent. This is where I left off last time. This is where I left you. As you could see, all the different challenges. If you're not up to speed with the challenges, check out the other videos. But basically, I'll run through them briefly. Challenge 1 $6,500 is what I set aside some time ago in hopes of purchasing the latest M72 retail kits. Of course, we know it was more than 65, so I didn't end up picking it up. I didn't think it was worth that. Challenge 2, that number there, 8658.92, when we talk about that number, that's when we broke down what it would cost you, the average consumer, to purchase the retail release of the M72 kit. I mean, that's with New York State tax. Your taxes will vary, so the difference will be, or the final number will be a little different. Challenge 3, basically what that number is, that $15,533.31, that is what it would cost you, again, the average consumer, to 100% replicate the M72 kit that he uses on stage. That would be the cost of you buying the retail kit and buying all the hardware that is still in production and everything you would need to replicate it. Because let's be honest, if I bought it, I'm not going to stick Pearl or Gibraltar stands on it. That would be madness. So anyway, those are the numbers. And what that means is for challenge 1, I wanted to get both shell kits on the ground, and that includes a snare stand and a tom stand, because otherwise they're not on the ground. I wanted to get both shell kits on the ground for $6,500. Challenge 2, I wanted to get both shell kits on the ground and all the vintage hardware for the Poor Touring Me kit, because the vintage hardware is a lot more expensive than what you have in production today. And finally, challenge 3, the $15,533.31. I wanted to get this entire project completed for under that. Everything is for under those numbers. So this episode, here's where we stand. So we spent $338 on that, on that box from Japan, and what we got out of that was a beautiful, complete HC104TB. We got an extra stilt bass, and we've got a cymbal arm that we're going to use on the right side for either the China or the Splash. So we got all that for $338. Yes, sometimes we get great deals, and sometimes we get bent over a log. When you factor in shipping from Japan, this wasn't too bad, although it was a little bit more than I wanted to pay. So we also spent $161. When I go back into my eBay and Reverbs and I look at the final price, they varied a little. I said $340 on the box from Japan. It's $338. $161 for the hi-hat stand that we have to do a side quest and work on and get the legs off. Yeah, $161 is a little bit more than I wanted to pay, especially since I see one at the moment for $80. But when I picked this up, the market was dry. Nothing else existed. I jumped on it. $161, a little more than I wanted to pay, but a beautiful hi-hat stand. So anyway, we also have the snare stand, $25. Great price. It's beat up. We're going to do a side quest repair video. So where does this fall? The $338, that was all for hardware. So let's add that to challenge 2 only. Okay, the $161, again, that was just for hardware. We don't need that to get a shell kit on the ground. So let's add the $161 to challenge 2 and challenge 3. And let me go back a little. The $338, that'll also be the challenge 3, because everything is going to fall under challenge 3 in the end. That's the final price. The $25, that's going to go under all 3, because we need a snare stand to hold up a snare. And in my opinion, you have to have a snare to have a shell kit on the ground. So this is where we are at this point, episode 8. I'm sorry, episode 7. This is where we sit currently. So let's move on to the next segment, and I will show you exactly what we have and what we need to get. Okay, and moving along. This is a fairly new segment. We did it a couple episodes ago. I think it's great. We're using a drum instructor model, a very detailed, beautiful drum instructor model of the Poor Touring Me kit, courtesy of Nick is Gone 29. He's on my Instagram. He does some fantastic work with these drum instructors. Check him out. Check out all his work that he's done. So anyway, we used this a couple episodes ago, and I'm going to use it again. And furthermore, to keep track of everything we've got. This one, he's made some upgrades from the last one. You can see he's put some mic stands down. I think we have the scorched earth, or as close to it as we can get. the bell brass, the Lars Ulrich Scorched Earth. That's pretty cool. I know he's made some changes to the cymbals. Pretty cool. I'm having a little trouble getting this white drum instructor, whatever you call it, address bar away. I don't know. I'll have to speak to him with that because the last one I was able to get rid of it. But anyway, so this is what we're going to use to keep track. So quickly, we have both kick drums. We're going to mark those off. We have both 10 and the 12-inch tom. You know, ours are a little deeper. That's how I chose to go, 10 by 10, 12 by 11. But we have them. We have the snare stand, the tom stand here. So we mark that off. Now let's spin the kit. We have both floor toms.
Hello?
Let's mark them off. The last episode, we marked off 2 HC104 TBs.
What?
Let's mark off another one, because now we have 3.
What?
And I'm probably going to mark off a 4th, because I can guarantee you I'm going to get that stand together. I mean, I have the utmost confidence in myself. That's going to work out. So let's mark off another one. So that's 4 marked off. Let's mark off both of these right side arms here, the auxiliary arms, as I like to call them, for the splash and the china. We have both of those, so let's mark them off. Beautiful. We still got to get ourselves some 66 clamps, but we'll worry about that later on. Let's mark off both pedals.
Period.
You guys saw that episode. Modern, yes, but still that's what I wanted to do. And let's mark off the snare stand.
What?
We still have to do a repair video, but again, I'm very confident that'll work out. It has 3 other times for my other replica kits. And let's mark off the entire hi-hat stand.
What?
Because we have the entire thing now. Again, I just have to take the legs off, but I have confidence in that. So where that leaves us, I think we need 2 more HC104 TBs, which is a really good thing. The stool, you know, we'll do something modern, you know, cymbals, all this snare. We got to get a snare. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the snare, but we will cross that bridge when we get there. And of course, we need those. Actually, it's 366 clamps. No problem. We'll knock it all out. But again, let's just take a minute to admire Nick's great work here. What a beautiful, beautiful kit. What a beautiful job he's done with this drum instructor. But anyway, so I will speak to him and see if there's a way to get this white address bar off for the next episode. But you get the point. It still works. And that is basically what we have. So hopefully I see you soon. I think we're going to jump right into that 4th HC104 TB and construct that. And then we'll probably go ahead and we will repair the snare stand, unless something else pops up in the mail. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me for episode 7. As always, I appreciate it. And hopefully I will see you very shortly. Thanks, guys.